Well, good afternoon. It's Longhaultanker, straight razor shaving with Longhaultanker. And today is Sunday, the 9th of October, 2022 at approximately 2:55 p.m. Eastern Time, 14:55. And I've got approximately 42 hours, hours worth of growth on my face. I've had a nice hot shower. Water was just barely hot, but it was hot for the shower. And in the sink, it's good and warm, but it's not hot. But we'll deal with it. Let's go over the equipment for today. And we've got a lovely 6/8 barber notch Wade & Butcher celebrated medium-sized hollow ground razor, and it's post 1891. It says Sheffield, England on it, and I'm going to call it a near wedge or a quarter hollow. It's not what I would call a full wedge, but it's just almost there. It's got real nice scales on it. I don't know if they're plastic, acrylic, or horn. There is a crack here on the back pin, and but it's well put together, and it's been solid ever since I purchased it off of eBay. And it's got a what looks like a pewter wedge in there on the pin, and so it's reasonably well polished. I have no complaints with this at all. This is a good example of a vintage razor from the period that has survived to this day. Maybe it's had work on it, maybe it hasn't, I don't know. I haven't done anything to it. So that's the razor for our brush today. We're going to use the excellent QED Select Manchurian silver tip in faux garnet, and the handle's a little small, but it's got the nice curves in it, so it's easy enough to handle. It's a 24 millimeter Manchurian silver tip. And as I like to boast on these are just so soft, but give you plenty of backbone. They're not overstuffed knots, have excellent flow through on the soap. And so we'll put that back in the water. And for our soap, we're continuing to use the fabulous Coniferous. And I just noticed the other day that it has this pine cone as a design on it from the Stirling soap company. And so this is just a lovely pine scent soap. Bill M pointed out to me that there's another one called Scottish Pine Sheep or something like that. I looked at it last night, and they've only got a couple left in stock, and so I'm not going to go chase that one. But the thing that, as I read the reviews on it, and the scent description and so forth, it's got made especially with lanolin, but I don't know if this one is, yeah, right there, tallow, lanolin, shea butter, as you see there on the bottom. And so I don't know how much different that would be than what I've got. So not going to chase it. If I get an extra $15, I may go checking. But you know, when you got one, do you need another that's kind of like it? I don't know. My pocketbook says wait for the present. My next big spending spree will probably be around Christmas. And I've got some things planned in my mind that I want to include. My wife keeps saying, well, how much more of this shaving stuff are you going to do? I said, I don't know, till I'm dead. Probably. I'm thinking about adding on another 7-day razor roll-up. And I do have in mind, now that I've been at this for a while, I have, if I were to get and start another 7-day roll-up, 7 days of 7 razors, I have specific razors in mind that I would want to chase, and I certainly included in that 7 would be at least 1, probably 2 Swedish steel razors. Helgestrand would be 1, and I do believe the Japanese Parker is made out of Swedish steel. I may chase one of those. But I will consult a certain party before I start doing all that on availability and so forth. And I'll probably go after a Philharmonica 14, and I'll probably go after a vintage Dorco. I think I've got a Dorco in that backle that that 1-inch backle that I have. I've been told that's made by Dorco, but it doesn't say Dorco on it. And I've seen some Dorcos available on eBay. And I may go after a double duck. Which model yet, I'm not sure. I like the 6/8, 7/8. 5/8 are good. I'm not gonna, if that's all that's available in excellent condition at the time I'm going looking. But I'm partial to the 6/8, 7/8. And something else that I'm interested in picking up is a second Bismarck, Dovo Bismarck, with the black scales. I've got the white scales, but I want to get the one with the marking of Bismarck on the scale. And what else might be on my wish list for that? But I've been around long enough, I see what's available. It's very unlikely I'm ever going to find a Wade & Butcher in the 9/8, 10/8 range, and so that's a whole lot of things have to come together for me to get one of those. Having the money on hand, the availability of such a thing coming available at the time I've got the money, and so that's a long shot right there. Anyway, I'm at the Love's Truck Stop. Oh, before I go there, let me say this, that if you're watching me on YouTube, thank you. Appreciate you joining me. Hit the like and subscribe button, leave a comment if you wish, be respectful and courteous. And be clear in your statement too. I just got one that I had no idea what the guy was talking about. He was kind, it was respectful, it was very simple, but I had no idea what he was talking about. And so, make sure your verbs and your predicates are clear. Not verbs, subject. Subject and predicate are clear. What is it you're saying? What is it you're asking? Anyway, then go on over to the Shaving Cadre, www.theshavingcadre.com, and join the conversation, join the party, make an account, and participate as much or as little as you want to. Be a lurker. If you want to, and just read the stuff that's going on. It's a lot of fun, and it's a place for me to post videos, and I like that. What else can I tell you? Shout out to the usual guys, Handle Barber Dave and Major Rich and Nurse Dave and Bill M and the Cutthroat Journey and Shooting the Shave and Scuttle Soap and Fenster, and last but not least is Lukey 3262. And we appreciate all those guys and the content that they make and post up. Some need to step it up a little bit, but they haven't posted in the two I'm thinking about, haven't posted in quite a while. But they're active participants over at the Shaving Cadre, and they're good guys. When I am on a Zoom call, they're always there, contributing and participating. And that's one of the things that makes the Shaving Cadre, so, in my opinion, so unique and wonderful, is that Zoom call. There's 10, 12, 15 guys on there when they have them every couple of weeks. And tomorrow may very well be one, I'm not sure. It's a good group of guys, and that Zoom call helps you get to see the people, hear them talk. Is this a group of people I want to participate with? Yeah. So let's get on with the shave here. I've got lots of time today. I'm at the truck stop in K-Pac, Michigan. I got in about 12 noon yesterday. I'm not sure what kind of edge this razor has. Because it's a Wade & Butcher in Sheffield, England, I tend to put a Coticule edge on these, but not all of them. I got a couple that are Shapton glass, 30,000. My delivery is Tuesday morning at 7 o'clock. I'm about 4 hours approximately from Toronto. This truck stop has always served as my staging area going into and coming out of Canada, which I will do tomorrow morning. I want to get to my truck stop about 11, no later than 12:30. I came in here yesterday, having spent night before last in Marshall, Michigan, so that was about a 2.5 hour drive. So that was just, and I knew that there were going to be some very lax times. The delivery was originally scheduled for Monday until we learned that Monday was Thanksgiving Day in Canada, national holiday, so everything's going to be shut down and people are going to be with their families, and so my delivery was bumped till Tuesday. It gave me an extra day, which doesn't hurt my feelings at all. So a 2.5-hour drive yesterday morning to get here, and then a better part of 2 days layover here, which gives me a new, what we call a reset, DOT hours of service regulations. You have a stop period for a minimum of 34 hours. You get a new set of 70 hours. My clock is presently sitting at 40, my drive clock, my hours of service clock is currently sitting at 45 hours, which is how much time I burned up from 70. So about 35 hours I burned up. And so tomorrow morning, when I leave out of here, I'll have a full set of 70 hours, burn up about 4.5, getting to my truck stop. I'm going to the Flying J in Brampton. They've got about 65 parking places. I've looked at them on the satellite map, and I do believe if I get in there early enough that I will have good opportunity to find a parking place. There's a couple of smaller truck stops in the Brampton area that don't have as many truck stops, and so I'll use those as backups if I have to. Because the razor it has a certain amount of wedge on it, it's not singing out. But just like the big wedge that I used in the last video, you can feel it, cutting in the feel, in the feedback. It's just a pop, 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 pop.
Customer 26, your shower is ready. Please proceed to shower 6.
So some of the best and worst memories I have as a truck driver on the road have occurred right here at this truck stop. And but that's all right. The good ones outweigh the bad ones, kinda. But as I said, I use this as a staging area. So when they tell me I've got a Canada run going to the Toronto area, when dispatch tells me, my first thought is stage at KPAC, and it takes about 2.5 days to get here. And so I plan my route accordingly. From Houston to Shreveport, stop from Shreveport to Ina, Illinois, from Ina, Illinois to here. So there's my 2.5 days. And so then it's about half a day from here to Toronto. And so make sure delivery is no earlier than the morning of the 4th day. It's not the first time either that I've been caught by this Thanksgiving Day in October, Canadian holiday, and been compelled to lay over. Which is fine, I get paid for the layover. Yeah, as smooth as this shave is going, I'm going to say this is a conical edge. Wonderfully smooth. So I use this as a staging area. I have my, when I leave out of here the day before, delivery, Tuesday's delivery, tomorrow's Monday. I go hit my Canadian truck stop tomorrow and then delivery on Tuesday. Then I'll make my delivery on Tuesday. Delivery's at 0700. And so I expect that they'll have me, even if they're not done with me until noon, that's 5 hours that they'll have me. I don't expect it to take that long, but you never know. And so a 4-hour drive then, 4.5, 5-hour drive back here, then I should get me in about 5 o'clock. And Brampton is on the northwest side of Toronto, so not a lot of traffic. I'm expecting either tomorrow, of course, Thanksgiving, holidays, you know, I don't know what people are doing by way of traffic. If the roads are going to be all jammed up like they are sometimes in the US, you just got to get clear of the cities. And there's only there's 3 cities you got to get clear of when coming into Canada from this direction. Sarnia, which there's not much to Sarnia. No offense to the good Sardinians. Did I say that right? I don't know. And then when the 401 and the 402 come together, you're that in London, Ontario. And there can be some traffic in London. I've been in traffic jams going both directions around London. And then the next town, the next biggest town is Cambridge. And But I haven't been up this way since the imposition of the mandates. And there was a lot of construction going on the west side of Toronto. But it wasn't so bad, unless you hit rush hour. And rush hour in Toronto is horrendous. And it can be as bad as anything out of Los Angeles. Los Angeles just has more freeways, and they're all jammed up during rush hour. Toronto just largely has the 401 and the ancillary highways that come off of that, going down to Mississauga and anyway, QE something, QEW is it? Or QE, Queen Elizabeth Expressway, something. So I look to be back here late afternoon on Tuesday, 4 or 5 hour drive, lay over, get a shower and shave, of course. I was watching a fellow that I know and respect. He's always used his right hand when using a straight razor, and he's talking about I should learn to use the left hand. To which I would say, yes, that's true. But if you're not comfortable with it and you haven't been doing it if you've been doing right-handed all this while, there's a lot of muscle memory that you got to unlearn. I was by no means ambidextrous. When I started shaving with a straight razor and using the left hand, but I was determined to learn to do it. And so I forced myself. I'm just going to pick up the razor and learn to use the left hand. And I did, and it wasn't comfortable. It took some time. And sometimes you just have to lay the razor down and say, you know, I'm not going to keep going and risk cutting myself. But then you come back and pick it back up and carry on, and eventually, as in my case, 7.5 years later, I would call myself reasonably proficient with the left hand. Certainly by no means a natural, but I just stuck with it. That's all you can do. Wonderful cushion, wonderful lather, slick, all the properties you want. And the smell on this Coniferous is just lovely, just lovely. Feel like I'm out in the woods. Well, winter is coming. Yesterday morning, when I woke up in Marshall, Michigan, it was about 5 o'clock. 30 degrees outside, below freezing. Little barber's notch action there. So I'm just having a relaxing shower and shave this afternoon. I woke up about 9:30 this morning in the truck, watched a couple of videos. I started a series on Amazon called The Farmer, and I'm 2 episodes into it, and that thing is funny as could be. About a guy older guy, 50 some years old, 57, 59 years old, who had been some kind of a stunt car driver and race car driver, and he owns a large farm in England, and retired from the race car driving. And his farm manager was set to retire as well, and he said, well, that's perfect, then I'll just take over as the manager of the farm since I own the farm. Hilarious, knows nothing about the farming. And watching him go through all of his trials and errors in his first year, in the first couple of episodes, is hilarious. If I was that guy with the money he has, apparently, I'd just hire a farm manager. I can imagine what it's going to be like here in a couple of months. Very cold, daily temperatures in the 30s and 40s. It's coming. Old Sheffield Weight and Butcher, just doing just fine. Okay, we're progressing along. So I'll get up about 5:30 tomorrow morning, and first thing I'm going to do after I get the inside of the cab secure, a lot of stuff to strap down and make sure it's not rattling around and moving around in the event of a sudden stop. You got to strap everything down that you got stored on the bunk. When I store my microwave and a couple other things, and so they got to be strapped down on the bunk. I'm going to head to the fuel islands and top up all my fuel. Our company doesn't mind if you have to buy fuel in Canada, but they want you to take all due diligence to not buy your fuel in Canada. And so that's reasonable. And so that's one of the reasons I like this truck stop as a layover station or a rally point for going into and coming out of Canada, Ontario. And I remember when they were building this Love's Truck Stop about 4 or 5 years ago, and I thought to myself, well, isn't that handy? That would be because the nearest Love's Truck Stop from this location is all the way back to Marshall, which if you got a stage up in Marshall, it makes that makes Toronto about a 9-hour drive. Whoop. Got a little carried away there. Now I'm gonna get me a bite to eat here. After I get done shaving, go back to the truck. I got some good food that my wife has made me in my little refrigerator. Okay, we'll go with that. All right, I think we're about done. Let's wash it off and see what we got and do the usual cleanups. And I am going to move on to a head shave, and I'll keep the cameras rolling. I wouldn't want anybody to miss out on that.
Please proceed to shower 7. Customer 30, your shower is ready. Please proceed to shower.
I did put some alum block, and I'm going to do it again right here. That's a stroke that I've recently started doing, and it really cleans up this jawline coming against the grain. I have a harder, for whatever reason, I can get it easier coming this way. And right there under my ear, coming down my neck, there's the concavity of the neckline is such that there's a fair amount that I need to clean up right in here too. Oh yeah, that's real nice. All right, switch hands, alum block. bring it right down to the chin, because I got those 2 points on my chin are just problem areas for me and always have been. And you can't rest until they're cleaned out. You just can't. Now I'm right down in here. Okay. And I'm sure that those follicles that are still sticking out there will shrink back in when the skin tightens up. So I'm overkilling is what I'm doing. All right, so we're done with the face shave. We used the Wade & Butcher post 1891 celebrated, just a beautiful razor, barber's notch, 6/8 approximately. So this is just likely honed on a Coticule. Beautiful razor. For the head shave, we're going to use the Union razor, honed on an Arkansas. And so let's get on with that. Good smelling soap. Coniferous. Makes you smell like a pine tree. And if you like the outdoors, like I do, that's just lovely. Now, I had my head shave 2 days ago over and I clipped my head with the clippers, that is. I buzzed my head in Marshall, Michigan. No, the only downside for me going into Canada, it has nothing to do with, well, Wi-Fi. My international going, I have unlimited calling and texting, but going into Canada, I only get 0.5 gigs a day. I think it's, yeah, that's right. And so what I have to do, you know, at night, in order to keep myself entertained, I downloaded off of Amazon, I downloaded about 5 or 6 movies, and I'll watch those tomorrow afternoon and evening. But I won't be, I could download, I guess, some shaving. Nah, that don't sound right. Not that I couldn't, because I do believe YouTube allows you to download videos. But that don't sound right. That's not, you know, you got to watch shaving videos on the day they occurred. You know, keep up with your boys that you watch. But I got some good movies. I've seen them before, but you know, that's the thing about Amazon. It's not like they have first run movies available with your subscription. Yes, you can pay extra for them, but why? You're already paying for the subscription. Kind of hard to see that line when my hair is as short as it is and gray as it is. This is the hard part, getting on camera. I'm not satisfied with that corner right there. But if I'm not careful, that's one of my trouble spots that I have nicked from time to time, and you don't want to do that on a head shave. You nick your head and it will bleed like you need surgery.
Customer 32, your shower is ready. Please proceed to shower bottom. Customer 32, your shower is ready. Please proceed to shower bottom.
Oh yeah, that feels good. Kinda. Got a spot over here. Always got to chase the spots, you know? All right, I think we're done. We're almost done. I'm going to apply the alum block on my face and head, and then we'll call it done. Rinse in cold water. Sounds like the showers are starting to pick up. You can hear the announcements over the PA system. Your shower is now ready. Okay, let me pat it down.
Customer Customer 33, your shower is ready. Please proceed to
All right, there we are. Thank you for staying with me. I hope you enjoyed the shave today, and hit the like and subscribe at YouTube and go over to the Shaving Cadre. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you down the road.